as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. We should ride together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Oh yeah, you damn right. It's me. It's the Fantasy Football Hustler, and we're bringing you FNT here with the man, the myth, the legend, Bogard Scott Free.
Yeah, I'm here.
I got to bring up the intensity on my end because it wasn't a good day for the 49ers. And I always said throughout the entire week, if it's less than 14-14, 49ers are going to win that thing. It was just over it.
Everything I said happened, but in this, like I said, Kittle's got to be a factor.
Yeah.
And I said, obviously, Sean McVay's not stupid like these other, coaches like LaFleur or stupid McCarthy, who didn't see the glaring weakness was the 49ers secondary. Sean McVay did. That's why OBJ has over 100. That's why Cooper Kupp goes bananas, multiple TDs. You know what I mean? It's just they knew exactly what Blanton, whatever the fuck his name is, bruh. His name, I hope I never speak again. That guy fucking, was utilized heavily, even against a bad matchup for the tight end. You know what I mean? Like, it was insane because everything I said happened. The only thing is that I never said we were going to win or lose because you know how I am. You know what I mean? I did say take the 49ers to cover, and I did say take the under. And what do you know? They both hit. So, there's that. I definitely made bread off. Like, best believe I made all the bread yesterday. I won the fucking league #1 hustler playoff shit. You know what I mean? That's money in the bank, but basically going to fund this next dynasty league. Is kind of like I'm treating it like a satellite. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Remember the satellites in poker? Like, you got to win this.
Yep.
Just to get
got to win this one to get into the big one.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm treating it like that. And then, I had the Bengals and the points. You know what I mean? I didn't touch the under over there. You know what I mean? But I did play with the idea that, if the under hits, it's probably the Bengals who win. You know what I mean? The under.
Shit, that Vegas is always on it. I think it was 40 or 54.5. And what was the total score? 53. So they're like right on it, just barely hit the under.
And they gave them 5 quarters.
Yeah.
So it's like Vegas almost got. You know what I mean?
Almost.
It's like, if Eli Apple, who does, who actually gives up the big PI in the first half of the game for the Chiefs to go on and score, right? He actually picks off Mahomes. That saves Vegas right there. Saved me. You know what I mean? Kept me in because all they needed was that field goal. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
It was a great day for money. But then, like, it's just like not going for it on 4th and 2. Like, what are we like? Come on. Like, we're, everything we were doing was working at that point. And then, I guess you could say the same on defense. So maybe Shanahan felt comfortable punting it there. You know what I mean? But then, it brings me to my next point. You know what I mean? Because this morning, like, you know what I mean? Like, I saw my son. He was eating a Pop-Tart. I slapped that shit out of his hand. Wow. You know what I mean? Because we ain't fucking with no type of tarts in this house today and for the foreseeable future. If we're trick-or-treating in Halloween and I see a goddamn sweet tart and that motherfucker, I'm throwing the whole bag away. It's tainted. He went from being the hero to fucking everyone fuck this guy. No one was talking to him in the locker room. You know,
yeah.
Probably kept trying to explain himself. He actually, said it in the presser, and he released a statement on Twitter like, "I let my brothers down." Yeah, you did, you motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You let the whole all the faithfuls down. You know what I mean? And this is why early on I'm favoring the Bengals a little bit here, and early little spoiler alert for the Super Bowl, because Matthew Stafford throws the games away. You know what I mean? We fucked that up. We knew he was gonna throw that. Listen, man, even the first drive in the red zone, picked him like a booger. Matthew Stafford's gonna make some mistakes, you know what I mean? And we just didn't capitalize. You know what I mean? And in a nutshell, I am excited for next year, you know what I'm saying? Because like Lance is gonna be a real thing. Like Lance is gonna shock the world.
Jimmy G's already coming out, and he told Bally Sports in an interview that this was likely his last game as a 49er. He's got to get thumb surgery for that torn ligament, 4 to 6 weeks recovery time.
Yep. And then Mike McDaniels, who we'll talk about later, is going to get interviewed by the Dolphins. He's a Shanahan disciple. He was our OC since I think since Shanahan got there. He's been the OC. Anyways, this guy, he's in line for the Dolphins job. That's another landing spot possibly for Jimmy. You just put him there as a backup, and then eventually, you know what I mean? He'll start over a goddamn Tua. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's interesting because Jimmy had the values there. He's gonna get the surgery. He had all the things that you say about Jimmy, like, is he tough? He's shown that. Still, though, no matter where he goes, it's only winning ugly with handsome Jimmy.
Yeah, he's going to be in the start. He's going to be a starter in the NFL. 32 starters in the NFL. He's probably very close to like the bottom of, the 32, mixing in all these rookies as well. And yeah, we'll see where his landing spot's going to be. We thought that last year was a crazy QB carousel. This year's about to be even crazier.
It really is, though.
Let me shout out everyone who's watching up in the chat right now. What up, Antonio and Chase? What up, bro? He said, if I was a Rams fan, I'd be glad San Fran didn't go on to win a Super Bowl in my house after beating me there. He said for a 7th straight game. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, the Rams should thank us because we did all the dirty work.
Yeah.
Got rid of the Cowboys for what that's worth, who probably would have matched well against the Rams. And then, obviously Green Bay, who already slaughtered them, you know what I mean? And Matthew Stafford seems to just like when he's on the other side of Rodgers, he just knows he's lesser of a man, you know what I mean? So that, we took care of them for them, you know what I mean? And I mean, one thing I did say though, maybe this is where I jinxed it. I know I said this a couple times last week, because I said they got to really be a team of destiny to beat us, because I don't feel like they beat us and go on to lose. But I want them to lose because I'm sour.
They are a team of destiny. Like, you look at everything, and like, team was garbage with Jeff Fisher. They get McVay, complete 180, turn it all the way around. And within like no time, like they go from Sean McVay getting there to them being in the Super Bowl 2 years later. Like, I mean, one of the better rookie coaches that we've ever seen, at least head coaches, because he's been around for a minute now. It was a big coaches battle. We knew that this game, out of all of them, probably had the most like coach versus coach like implications. Who's going to win the coaching battle amongst this? And McVay definitely won it. The one thing that I will say about the Bengals is they looked like they had a pretty good game plan like right after the first series. So again, I think it's going to be a huge coach versus coach battle in the Super Bowl.
Okay, let's get to that game real quick.
And let me shout out everyone else. Who else is up in here? Song's up in here. What up, bro? Say we came up short. They stopped our run game. Had to leave it to Jimmy. Yeah, that shit sucks.
I mean, Jimmy, and when you leave it to Jimmy, we got shut out in the second half. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
It was they made phenomenal adjustments because we ran shit the first fucking series. I mean, the first half of the game. You know what I mean? So like the fact that they made the halftime adjustments, bro. Raheem Morris did his thing right there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Raheem Morris. He's probably going to be in line to get a head coaching job too now, for sure. You know what I mean?
Defense wins championships, and both of these games that were won this week, it was definitely because of the defense.
Yep, the Bengals shut out the Chiefs in the second half outside of
Field
butt
goal.
kicker. Yep.
Yep.
And like
Shut them down. I mean, how about the defense stopping them on how many times? 3 times in a row when they were on like the 2-yard line to end the half. That was huge. They don't stop them there. The game's probably over. That swung the momentum like crazy.
It's so weird because I mean, like early when we were streaming the game, I was talking about how he just demoralized them with the double spin move and then finds Kelsey for the tug. You know what I mean?
Yep.
On a third and forever was whatever.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? And then like he's trying to do hella much of that right there, and then they sack him, and then they sack him again. And it was like, what? Damn, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like that's entirely too much trust.
Stats wise, and what I saw yesterday, Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson are the best, outside rushers, like tandem in the league. Like they were getting to Mahomes on almost every damn play, and he was doing so much to evade those. And the first couple times it was like, you got me with the crossover, you got me with the spin move, but then like I wasn't falling for it in the second half.
No, and like I think what's the funniest thing to me is like nobody like expected that to happen. They win the coin toss, and like it's funny because just the conversation in this whole week about overtime, and then here we are again, and then the coin toss. And
if us as fans and commentators are talking about it, players that is in their head.
Yeah,
100%.
And then
Chiefs have already 2 overtime games that they played in, 2 first drive touchdowns to not give the other team the ball.
And sorry ass Eli Apple, like he had like a funny style career, like you know what I mean. I'm talking about like from the Giants, and then he goes and he's on the Saints, and he was just like a motherfucker that I love starting receivers against because he was whack. You know what I mean?
He's always getting toasted.
And then he makes the fucking play of the game and picks off Mahomes. And hey, what do you know? That's their one possession that they're guaranteed.
Yeah.
And like it was just, and then you have the best rookie kicker in history, I think, right? I think that like he made some kind of history shit yesterday. But like, yeah, he's like, yo, they're about to get this. And then Joe Mixon gashes him. It's like, oh, like that. Now they're really going to get this kick because they went from like, okay, they're at the 58-yard. That's his career. That's his career best this year so far. And then they're like, oh, now it's a 36-yard field goal. Like that shit was funny, dude.
And it's one of those things. I mean, how long? What? This is Mahomes' 4th year as a starter, right? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about 4 years in a row where they've made the AFC conference, championship. I mean, first 3 times, I mean, they should have won that first time, but all the rules and the bullshit, but it's going to get harder and harder for them to keep, making it to the Super Bowl, keep overcoming these odds because every team wants to beat the shit out of the Chiefs.
They hosted it every time too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then like, it's kind of like equivalent to New England in their heyday because at any given moment, the Dark Lord of the Sith can use his Sith sorcery and bring on the snow, and you know what I mean. But then it's equivalent. What they got equivalent to that in Arrowhead is the fucking noise, and you could always turn that on. You know what I mean?
I want to hear something like I wonder if they put in earplugs or something like in the second half or like something because that noise was fucking with them early.
I mean, it's funny. I was saying that on one of the shows last week, like, you know what I mean? I wonder how they're preparing. Like, is it earplugs or do they have headphones on with music hell loud in their ear? You know what I mean? Why? And they're just so they all can't hear each other, but they, so they can get their fucking silent counts and their signals down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
they were on it. One of those big, one of the big penalties, like towards way down the stretch. It was you could tell they couldn't hear shit. They're all doing hand signals. It was like the the left guard like tapped the center on the shoulder, and then center looked under, and then he looked back up, and then the defender like jumped, and but he was about to look back down again. So they were doing like a grip because they couldn't hear shit.
Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow pinched a dude on the right ass cheek. He's like, yep. On the left. That means on 2.
And Song said, "Why not double team Cup like we did Adams?"
I mean, they have a threat of the screens. They have a threat of pass catching running back. You know what I mean? Then Blayton was going crazy all of a sudden. Like you can't really just double him. But like when they went man coverage on him was stupid. I mean, you just it's I say D'Amico Ryans or whatever the fuck his name is, our DC. I think he just fucked his future interviews. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna take like the Vikings job, or some shit job real quick. Anything he can get off of at this point. Because you know what I'm saying? Like he's just
What up, David? David, shout out OBJ. I'm gonna go look at his stat line because
he went over a hundo.
Yeah, it was solid. I mean, he was I'm not gonna say he was the difference maker in the game. I mean, that was still probably Cup, but damn it, wrong game. Hold on. Here we go.
Is that they were just gonna do what you should do, is just attack us with Cup.
And yeah, I mean, so Cup 11 receptions, 142 yards. ODB 9 receptions, 113 yards.
Yeah, and then Stafford went over 3 bills.
Yep.
And
it was only the one interception too. Only the one.
Yeah,
he's done 2 of those things. I don't know if they would have won.
Yeah, it was just the one. You're right. It was just that one. Not 2.
Can you have a phone, please?
Not 2.
Last mom.
Hi, Bogard.
What up, dude?
That's mom.
How you doing?
Pretty crummy today.
And yeah, Cup is I don't really know what to say about Cup. Like, what's the big difference? He just lines up in the slot like even more. I mean, maybe that's a bigger thing. He probably lines up in the slot a lot more than Adams. I mean, he's primarily, a slot guy. And the way they move him around, you got to get someone to be able to follow him and
that type of
multiple people.
We don't have that type of corner. Plus, like, I mean, we just don't have that type of corner. I don't think anyone's that type of corner right now.
Yeah, because first off, you got to be big enough, to match up with them. And you still need a safety over the top. So it's like, if you think about that, like the way that the 49ers scheme, they really don't scheme too much to like take 2 people completely out of the entire scheme just to guard one person.
Well, what's crazy about it all though is like we definitely, that pick to me is that the non-pick. That one to me it really seals the game. Less than 6 minutes to go. You get that pick, we're gonna eat the clock like shit. They have 0 time.
Yeah, that was tough. Like you can't fucking drop balls like that in the playoffs. Like that was right in his stomach.
Stafford threw it right to him. Threw it right to him, bro.
Yeah. And I guess, and seeing you were already like in your head, it was already two interceptions because like that one should have been the one, and that one could have been the one that sealed it.
Yeah, I mean, and like, I'll tell you this much: I give it up to Raheem Morris second half because I think Sean McVay, you know what I mean, he was having a little bit of trouble adjusting initially. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt like they at one point just like screw it, throw it to Cup every time from now on.
Yeah, and that way.
And then they even like they might have found a matchup they like, you know what I mean? Because then like every time I gotta watch it again. I haven't been able to watch it again yet, but when I do, I want to see. Too
soon, right?
Yeah, I want to see who OBJ was catching the ball on too, because then that's just brilliant. If they found a guy that they could pick on, you know what I mean? They probably picked on them repeatedly, but then obviously Cup it don't matter who's on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Here's another thing too is like Sean. It's funny because Sean McVay, he like those challenges were stupid as fuck. You know?
Yeah.
I was just like, yes. But then now in hindsight, that kind of fucked it up because it made them have to play a certain style. You know what I mean? Now they had it was dire for them to get down the field. You know, they got to move fast. And then that kind of worked against us at that point because we're burnt out. You know what I mean?
Losing the timeouts didn't really. I mean, they didn't hurt that much. Not as much as we thought. Had he got those right, those would have been huge swings. But obviously, it would have had to been a different call. So it is what it is. And Antonio said, "Who do you think wins the Super Bowl?" I want the Bengals to take it. I really think it's going to be the Rams, but that would be fucking amazing if it was the Bengals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Rams. I mean, like, I guess you could purchase destiny these days because that's what the fuck they did. They're the Hollywood Rams. They bought star power. You know what I mean? They
bought the new stadium, made sure to put in that bid to get the Super Bowl there, and
and then we went from never seeing the home team play a Super Bowl in their shit to now back-to-back years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see that more in the future because a lot of these teams are going to start building domes. Like, as much as we love the elements, like, they're going to want to start taking a lot of these elements out.
Like, you have these different style ones, like the Vegas one. It's like it has a whole translucent, like, top, but it's a dome.
Yeah.
And then, like, the LA one has, it's kind of like it's wearing a hat so much.
Did the Raiders buy their destiny as well? Because that's the thing that I'm seeing. Tampa Bay 2020, the Rams in Los Angeles 2021, and where's the Super Bowl next year?
In Vegas.
Las Vegas.
And then they just got Josh McDaniels for whatever that's worth. But see, here's the thing.
They better not have. I'd be so pissed. But
so let's get to that, because I know that's like the first like news today that we have is. Yeah. So the Raiders officially hired Josh McDaniels. He brings over like the right hand man of Belichick as far as like when it GM duties. He brings that guy over. I forget that guy's name. He has a funny name.
Was it Chase something?
No, it's like.
Damn it! I swear I just saw that shit on Twitter.
I know. I've been seeing it everywhere. I can't remember his name, but it's a funny name. But anyways, that's the new GM. And like they love Carr.
Oh, Dave Ziegler.
Yeah, I like that name. Ziegler. It's pretty dope. Good name. Anyways, he brings over the Zig, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they love Derek Carr. You know what I mean? They even life after Brady, they toyed with the idea of trying to trade for Derek Carr because they had good trade relationships with the Patriots organization and the Raiders organization in the years past. Like they just even that year they traded for Tim Brown. Is it Trent Brown? I forget. I'm talking about the he was the right tackle. Was it right tackle? I mean, he was a lineman, but I just know he came from the Niners originally. Then anyways,
I think it was Trent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, this motherfucker. You know what I mean? They got their man. They wanted Carr that year, apparently, and then they ended up with Cam. You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't get nothing done. So here they are. He has Derek Carr. I mean, the first thing he's gonna do is build that lineup. That's just what they do. You know what I mean? He thinks that's how you win in New England. That's how he had struggles winning in Denver.
How many days did it take him to renege on the head coaching job? I know he pulled someone else with him, so he probably won't. But was it the same day or was it like multiple days?
It was already like where like people were breaking it, like, oh yeah, he's gonna be the new head coach of the Colts, and then like that was like a Friday or whatever it was, and by Sunday he was like he pulled out. You know what I mean? And then by like that Tuesday or whatever it was, they hired Frank Reich.
Okay.
Like, who was the other interview that they really liked a lot? You know what I mean? So
Chase says, regardless of what happens, Bengals should draft all linemen this year. I mean, now all the skill positions they have, they're playing with with house money. So it's really, how can you build around these guys?
What they're gonna do is like they're gonna whatever they can attack in free agency, because right now is the time to spend their money. Well, if you're the Bengals, it's time to spend money because you have all this young core, and then you already locked in Mixon. Probably have him for like another year or two, because Mixon don't got that much mileage on him. He's missed time in his career. You know what I mean? So like, but he's already taken care of. He's already paid. So like, you have him for like it's time to get some attack free agency with the cornerback market. You know what I mean? They're gonna draft linemen and draft. I bet you they hit free agency for some of these offensive linemen.
They have to. I mean, shit, got the last pick in the draft. Like, there's gonna be all the top guys are gonna be gone by then, O-line wise. At least the guys who you'd probably plug in, as rookies, anyways.
You know what?
JC says I am number 8.
No, you're not.
Antonio, what up, bro? They got to get him in free agency. They're probably not going to have a good pick. They're going to either have last or second to last,
or they could trade out like the big dogs do.
Right?
You know what I mean? Get more picks because you have to and bolster, I should say. Because
you're getting second round value though at that point, right? Trading out there.
Yeah, for
potentially.
Sure. Mm-hmm. That's 100%.
Depends on who falls to you, though, I guess.
Or there's a guy that you're really big on your board, and there's somebody who wants this spot. You know what I mean? And you have the intel that they're not trying to get, said player, and then and you look at it like, oh, I might only have to move back 5 spots here. You know what I mean? Like, yep. Patriots and Seahawks, them motherfuckers have done that shit for years. You know what I mean? Just trade out the back of the first round because there's always somebody froggy wanting to get up in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And Song said, I'm proud of the Niners 6th seed to the NFC Championship next year. We will look forward to play better. We'll see what seems like it's going to be Trey. Jimmy's already coming out saying it's probably the last game, all that. And
I'm telling you, number 5 is going to he's going to shock the world, bro. You know what I mean? It's still
either in a bad way or a good way. It could go one way or the other.
I left it wide
open-ended. There you go.
Yeah, so I can come back later and say I said it. Told y'all he was gonna shock him.
I see what you did there. Let's see what other news. Before we go too far away from the Super Bowl. So Higbee, he got hurt yesterday. Pretty much missed most of the game. That's why we were talking about Blanton's ass. He avoided major injury, but as of right now, his status for the Super Bowl is up in the air.
Good for him.
What if Blanton comes in and ends up making all the big plays on offense, ends up stealing Higbee's spot forever?
Higbee's, how old is Higbee? 30?
I think he's getting up there. If he's not,
he's like
30. Yeah, he's like 29.
Where's the cup?
Maybe 28. I can go check.
Where's the cup?
Where's the cup? Oh, the cap right here, dude.
Oh, the cup.
Hold on.
29. He just turned 29 on January 1st.
Well, I would wish him a happy belated birthday, but I hate him. That actually made me feel better.
All right, let's see. Some other stuff we got on the docket. So the Dolphins, they're interviewing Kellen Moore, and then the San Fran OC Mike McDaniel. Bogard talked about that a little bit earlier. And I also heard this rumor that somehow they're going to be like trying to get
interview Jim Harbaugh too. I forgot to put his name on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like the Jim Harbaugh back in the league.
He's for the Dolphins. He seems like the kind of guy who likes to treat his nose every once in a while. He might fit in well down there.
Or he could be on the Michael Irvin where he used to use heavy, and at one point he got on one and never came down. So he just doesn't. Like, you look at Michael Irvin, he doesn't use no more, but he just never came down from that last time.
Oh,
he's
man.
on their hype.
I don't know. Is what do we think? You think that Jim Harbaugh might make the jump for the Dolphins when we're talking about now going up against Belichick every year, even without his squad?
He's undefeated against Belichick.
Oh, shit.
Played it one time, that's why, with my Niners.
One time. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, actually it was a game with Kaepernick, bro. We went into New England and it was snowing as fuck. And then Randy Moss had a big game. It's that revenge shit.
Nice. So we'll see what happens over there. Yeah, Dolphins. They need to get some shit going. And Stu,
right?
Yeah, It's not going to be Kellen Moore. He said, please, Miami, hire Kellen Moore so we can get a new OC or something different than Scott. Who's that? Linehan, Jason Garrett, offensive playbook we've seen.
If I'm the Cowboys, it's like you got to go and look who just lost their job right now, or you got to find the next guy that no one really heard of yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, who's out there in the league? They're going to get a Sean McVay guy, or they're going to get, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's got to be someone who's willing to be a yes man.
Yeah. So it's like, I think Kellen Moore's job. I think if Kellen Moore gets hired, first of all, that team's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is like straight up a GM who convinced an owner like, this guy's like the next Sean McVay just because he's young. Because you hire this young ass motherfucker. Like, how old is Kellen Moore? Like 30?
Let's go see. That's a good question.
32?
Let's see. He's 33. July 5th birthday.
Oh, snap. Nice. I like the guy then. Same birthday as Mac Dre. Same birthday as my daughter and clock management. Good day.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to be Kellen Moore. I mean, he wouldn't even be an offensive coordinator right now if it wasn't for Jerry. And it looks like he took huge steps back from 2020 to 2021.
I'd say from 2019. Because in 2019, that was like them making a conscious effort. Like, okay, man, I used to be your backup. Now I'm the OC. We're going to get you this big bag, Dak. You know what I mean? And and maybe you couple that with because their defense was bad.
Their defense was garbage. They needed to throw up that to keep up with teams.
I'm hella trying to trade for CeeDee Lamb everywhere right now, though, in Dynasty.
Yeah.
To no avail.
Everyone who's super pissed at him.
Yeah, but it's been to no avail because it's all guys like Stu, like the one Cowboy fan in the league, and he has Lamb. You know what I mean?
No one's trading CeeDee Lamb in a dynasty. I have no reason to come off.
I'm trying. It doesn't mean show me in the rules where it says I can't try.
Okay, so you tell me more about this. What did you hear about this? So Jacksonville thought to hire Leftwich, but now they're circulating the market again. So they didn't let him sign on the dotted line. They're circling the room again.
It's something about like how bulky. Like he didn't want to. He didn't like how Bulky was doing his thing there. And yeah, shout out to Trent Bulky. My name's Bogard Scott Free. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Because that guy sucked too. You know what I mean? Like at one point, he just overstays his welcome. You know what I mean? And like, so I guess now they're keeping Bulky, and they didn't hire Leftwich, and now they're bringing in Rich Bisaccia.
Huh?
Yeah. I hope he
and Bulky's the GM, right? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So Leftwich. You're saying Leftwich didn't even like that?
I mean, that's what I read. Like he didn't like the GM or some bullshit. You know what I mean? But like,
fuck
it's
the Jaguars.
funny,
Fuck the Jaguars. They're gonna be bad for a while.
Okay, I know the dude is not like. He didn't really jump out the window, super, turn some team. Like, he had Tom Brady, right? But you think Tom Brady, because he hasn't officially retired.
Right.
Right? There's like there's still conflicting reports. Like, some are saying he just hasn't announced yet. Some are saying, like, no, he never, said he's done, etc., right? But, like, maybe, like, Leftwich is like, man, fuck that. Because maybe that tells us Brady's coming back. He's like, I'm going to ride this thing one more year. You know what I mean?
Hey, maybe. I mean, Adam Schefter is still sticking to his guns that Brady's going to retire. And, like, supposedly, according to the Party My Take guys, as crazy as they are, they heard from a source that there's actually, like, a Brady retirement video that was, like, in the production works. And Schefter, like, just spilled the beans early or something. Like, who knows?
Just like that guy that, like, if he kicked it out, everyone would be quiet when he walks in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because we say some shit that I don't want this motherfucker to hear. You know what I mean? Everybody when Chevy shows up just talk sports. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
There is
'Cause they
no
go,
off.
I don't know what y'all talking about. He's like, hey, where's your restroom? And then he's in there tweeting shit. That's what he was. He walked in the production room. He's like, oh, that's the Brady thing. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Schefter's
How about?
He's
Yeah, Schefter's the man. His brother's going to be on the show here. I think next week we're going to be talking. He's going to make an appearance on Hanging with the 420 crew.
nice. The other Scheffner.
Yeah, the one that nobody's heard about. But if you smoked out of a Jerome Baker bong sometime in your life, that's his company.
Die.
Super dope. Another piece of news we got on the docket. So yeah, we're gonna start keeping FNT down to like under an hour because JC Money, he's coming on in about 20 minutes here. They're gonna be bringing you some basketball lineups for Super Draft Pro. Help us all win some money. And we got the Saints set to interview Brian Flores. I mean, they've had an offensive-minded coach forever. Their defense is actually a lot better than their offense right now, at least on paper, yeah. I would say. Brian Flores did really good in Miami. Miami's just really stupid for letting him go right away.
I mean, it was the GM head coach battle. You know what I mean? The GM just, you've been there for 21 years, and like it's funny because if I'm the owner, you really got to be on coke with the GM or something, bro. Because you look at 21 years of mediocrity, I don't think you think that's any good. You know what I mean?
No.
And then here comes like one of the best coaches you've had.
They haven't made the Super Bowl since Dan Marino days, right?
Yep. And like I don't think they've. I don't even think they've. I can't even think of a playoff game they've won in hella long either.
I can't even think of a playoff game they played in anytime recently.
I mean, they got trounced by the Steelers in the 2017 season.
Okay.
They got in there with it was with Matt Moore. What was it? 2017 or it was 2016? 2016 season. Because then that was when Tannehill got hurt like a couple weeks before the playoffs. They get a wild card with Matt Moore. And then you might remember this though, because earlier that year they played the Steelers, and that was when what's his name? Jay Ajayi had two hundo.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah, and then he did it again the next week.
Yeah. You know I mean? And then that was it, right? Wasn't he kind of done after that?
I think that was one of and then he got then the next year he had like a failure to launch, and then he was traded to the Eagles like mid-season.
Yeah.
And he was part of that fucking Super Bowl team. It's funny though, because the first game he did play for the Eagles, it was against the Broncos, right? It was probably like week fucking 9 or 10 or whatever it was. And his first touch of the game comes in like the middle of the first quarter. He gets his first touch and he houses it for like 6
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like just give him the ball more often.
Yeah.
So I got some news from Houston. So the Texans.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So Brian Flores, he's also the favorite to Houston right now.
Yeah,
well.
There's 3 coaches. So they put it out today that their list is dwindled to 3. It's Brian Flores, Jonathan Gannon, and Josh McCown.
Wow. You gotta go Brian Flores here, right?
I mean one of those two should.
He's a Patriot, and they have all these Patriot guys there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You have the GM for the Texans. He just came from New England. You want your iPad, son? Okay. Yeah. Go over here.
But yeah, so we know Brian Flores is going to end up with a job here sooner or later. It wasn't his fault that the whole Miami front office is just really dumb. Yeah, I mean he was on record for saying that he really wanted Herbert, and they went the Tua route.
Right.
I'd be pissed at the front office too. Every time I see Herbert go out there and set new records.
hey, when you go to a meeting with the Dolphins owner and the GM, they're just slapping hella loud ass music. White lines do my mind. Something like a phenomenon. They're just getting loaded, bro. It's like what are they?
Juvie makes you numb.
Hey, that dude, even the line coach, man, for a couple years ago with Adam Gase, who actually looks like he's permanently on one as well. You know what I mean? Remember they had that line coach get caught doing coke, and he's on videos like confessing his love to some stripper. I'm like, yo, people do some crazy shit on the good coke. That's that. I don't know. Maybe they got some bad coke over there.
Need to get that drop. Welcome to Miami.
Right. And then here's Brian Flores like, yo, all these motherfuckers is coked out. He's like Denzel in American Gangster. He's like, you don't know because you're coked up all the time. He's just fucking $10,000 Apache. I can see Brian Flores fucking fools up. For real though. He's from Brooklyn, bro.
Oh yeah, he didn't play around. Hell yeah. All right, last piece of news before we get up out of here. So the Packers promoted within. They promoted the O-line coach. So he was the O-line coach / run game coordinator. Adam Stanovich. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yep.
So they promoted him to OC.
I like this, like, just based on like fantasy. Like, that just means that they're probably gonna put an emphasis on the run because it's gonna be Jordan Love more than likely. You know what I mean? Or whoever.
Well, hold on. I mean, how does this relate to Rodgers? Do you think promoting within is better for Rodgers? They said after that game, he hung around for like hours and hours, like in the fucking in the stadium, and supposedly it was game planning or whatever, talking about the game plan. As far as I know, we don't know
moving forward, right? I mean,
yeah,
you know, that's being professional. I think, staying around too is also because he's just like, man, this might be the last fucking time I'm here before I get my shit up out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the next time he could, like, and they clear your lockers out and all that shit when at the end of every season. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, he's probably just sticking around, like, damn, like, soaking it all up. He's a nostalgic type of guy these days. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is just the end of that chapter. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna find out sooner than later on him.
Yeah, because there's we got to hear some other news. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, what if we see that they re-signed Devontae Adams or something like that? We know he's staying.
Okay, yeah. See, that's a tell.
Yeah.
But see, and those conversations doesn't even have to come open until a free agency starts. You know what I mean? And
because you can they even re-sign anybody right now or right?
I mean, you could obviously put a deal, have a deal that's being worked behind the scenes with your agents, and then it's just ready to go once. You know what I mean? That's why you see so many deals once free agency opens. You see a lot of these guys that were like, that are role players basically on their team that they get extended, or you know what I mean? The bigger marquee names. You know what I'm saying? Those things don't just happen like that. Like the Devontae Adams thing is not. That's based on what is going to happen with Rodgers. If all of a sudden they immediately announce that they're going to franchise tag him, I'm like, oh shit, they're about to move them both. But then also too, it's like, man, I kept thinking about that, man. Like the likelihood of Rodgers getting traded to begin with is higher than we've ever known. Because you always hear rumors about quarterbacks being traded, this, that, and it never really happens like that. You know what I'm saying? But like. We see, at least not in this scale. Like we've seen, like the Niners trade for Jimmy. We've seen, you've even heard that story that came out where like the Niners had traded for Roethlisberger back then. That would have been crazy. That would have been equivalent to this. You know what I mean? Like just this a guy who's totally a game changer. And then you start thinking about it. Okay, like how many first rounds is enough? You know what I mean? Like they'll give you all of it. So say it's let's just think of a preposterous number, like 5 first rounds or some shit, or like 3 and like plus hella shit. You know what I mean? Like what are those first rounds if Rodgers is the one playing? You know what I mean? Back first. You know what I mean? In the late 20s, maybe even the 32nd pick for all we know. You know what I mean? Like it's
what up, Sir Bongs a lot?
Yeah, hit the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That boom, 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 boom.
That boom, boom,
boom. But I mean, he also did say that he wasn't going to leave this looming. That he was going to let them know before free agency, and you know what I mean, because
And free agency doesn't kick in until
what is it, March?
like that. So I think it's March 14th is when it is. It says the deadline to franchise tag players is the 8th, and I think it's a couple days after that the free agency starts.
Okay, so if
no, my bad. March 16th is when it is.
Okay, that's a Tuesday, right?
Probably. I don't have the dates in front of me. I mean the days in front of me. I just got the dates.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a month and a half from now, and a short month, February.
See what I'm saying? So like we're gonna hear something sooner than later on the Rodgers thing, because it's a decision of whether he's coming back to play or not. And if he comes back to play, I think he's gonna get traded. I mean, like, because I mean, you know, everyone can make, like, remember when TD was making the argument? Well, he got the run game and the defense. Like, if you really look deeper into it, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of those guys on defense, you're gonna have to pay them. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, then you're gonna have to ask Rodgers to take less money. You know what I mean? And then asking him, even though the cap goes up, it's still the quarterbacks are the ones that are usually the ones that are in line to restructure their shit. You know what I mean? But, and then if Rodgers stays, that means Adams is staying. You got to break the bank for him.
Yeah,
Rodgers would probably advocate for that too.
Yeah,
I mean, he advocated.
Might only be like a 2-year deal that's super front loaded in one, and they could get rid of him after a year if they wanted to, or you know, some shit like that. So March 16th, 3/16 on a Wednesday, FNT. Oh yeah,
all right. That's Austin 316 day.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. That day we may have to see like how many what's get because you know there's going to be a lot of what's on 316 day.
Yes, the whole show.
Oh yeah, but that's awesome. So it's a Wednesday, so we're not even gonna have to switch up our schedule because after the Super Bowl, we're switching to a Wednesday, Friday, at least until further notice, and then until we get back to August, probably something like that.
I'm excited because now that we know the dates, it's so close. We're gonna know, like, if they franchise tag Devontae Adams, it says two things: that Rodgers is gonna stay, he's gonna play football. And that, you know, there is a possibility he stays in Green Bay because the franchise will be like, look, Adams, you stay here for the year that we have Rodgers.
Or it's a potential. We want the rights to you, and we're going to trade both of you guys.
Exactly.
We've never seen it, but that would be amazing.
That would be so awesome.
That would be amazing.
And then it would definitely be the Green Bay. I mean, the Broncos. You know what I mean? And like in true Warrior fashion, he jumped right into bed with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Even though I think, see, like I didn't even include Derek Carr there in that conversation, but I think, you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't personally want to, but if he got, but if Nathaniel Hatchett's a guy he highly respects and admires, apparently, and they have these long football conversation. I bet you know how they stayed in the stadium for hella hours after.
Yeah,
Nathaniel was there too.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. I want to say like he already had the interview. He already had done the interview during the bye week with Denver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it could be.
Bogey in the Matrix. All right. Well, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, something happened on his phone. Bogey in the Matrix.
Yeah, am I back?
There we go. You're back.
Yeah. You know, see, it might have seemed like I was gone for a second, but I was in there for like 3 months, B. Time.
I went back to the future and back.
Time's different in the Matrix, man.
All right, we're gonna get up out of here. JC Money, his Jesus Christ Money, his basketball show is starting in about 10 minutes. So make sure you guys jump on, get all those lineups. Got to get those basketball lineups in.
Hey, we need a Jesus Christ Money shirt of him just like
Like Buddy. Have you seen Dogma? Like Buddy Christ?
Christ.
Yeah, there we go. That'd be perfect. That'd be awesome. Yes, we got FNT coming back tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping my first IDP video of the offseason. We're breaking down the top 12 linebackers from 2021. I go through all the stats and everything, give my thoughts on where they should be drafted, that type of thing in the upcoming dynasty. And it's a good watch. Not too long either. I believe it's only like 15 minutes or so, maybe 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, make sure you be on the lookout for that. It's either going to be coming here in a few hours or tomorrow morning. One of the two, it'll be an upload. Yeah. And Bogard, you ready this Sunday in lieu of the Pro Bowl and no one caring about it? You ready for our award show?
Yeah, I thought we were going to call the Pro Bowl.
Huh?
No.
Fuck no.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I guess we'll hop on the phone later, or even sometime tomorrow. We got to get this rolling because we'll call all upon the who's who. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, this would be dope.
Yeah, we got to get some end of season rewards. We can even have some.
I'm even down. Well, you know what? I'll talk to you after the stream.
Yeah, let's get up out of here. All right, guys. Come back in for JC Money's money talk. That's all he's talking about. Some Super Draft Pro lineup, getting you some money. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to wait. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Anyone in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.